So today I'm going to walk you through the A Gentle Feast curriculum and tell you kind of what I like about it and all of that. So I'm going to do a walkthrough here in a few minutes that you can kind of see what's involved in the curriculum. I do have both the morning time and the main manual for cycle 1. So a lot of people have asked me if I'm going to continue with A Gentle Feast for this next year, and we're actually going to take a step back from American history. So in A Gentle Feast, the lower forms study American history, and then they add on British history. So because my kiddos are going into 1st and 3rd grade, I really wanted to hit ancient history while they're little, just to have something to kind of build the world idea on. And so we're going to step away just to hit some ancient and Middle Ages probably the next year, and then we'll probably cycle back to A Gentle Feast. So if you're looking for something that kind of lays out the Charlotte Mason method for you, this is a great option. It gives you structure without being too tedious. It's really a gentle feast. You get a little bit of everything, but it's not daunting. So if you are daunted by looking at other book lists or curriculums and you just think, I don't know how I'm going to fit that all in, A Gentle Feast is a great option for you. I hope you'll enjoy this video. Okay, this is the Cycle 1 A Gentle Feast Teacher's Manual. When you go on to agentlefeast.com, you can look and choose your cycle, and it gives you kind of an overview by the title. So this used to be called the green year. You can see how it's green at the bottom here still. It's now called Cycle 1. A Gentle Feast is a 4-cycle program. So you'll do cycle 1, then the next year you do cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4, and then you switch and you go back to cycle 1 again. Through that, your kids are moving up in form. So your kiddos start, let's say, in Form 1 for cycle 1. They're in Form 1 for grades 1, 2, and 3. By the time they hit cycle 4, they're actually ready for Form 2. And then when they come back to cycle 1, they're now in Form 2. So your students are doing different activities and different books based on the same cycle. You can see down here at the bottom that cycle 1 is American history from 1000 to 1680 AD. This is including like the exploration, the American colonies, Native Americans, all of that is in here. When you get to Form 2 and up, you can see that you add in British world history, as well as the Middle Ages, and then once you get to 5th grade, so this is also Form 2, you add in ancient history. So you're adding more on as you go through. When you look at this manual, she kind of lays it all out for you, which is really nice. Now when you purchase the curriculum, you get to go in and you select your cycle, and then it offers you the option of only getting the online resources. The online resources is where you'll find a lot of extra things, including these plans in a spreadsheet format. So for some people, that's much more helpful. For others, they like this visual example. You'll see that I did not write in mine what we did. There was a few corrections that needed to be made because these were brand new when they were released last year. So I corrected a few things in here, but other than that, I have not written what we did or anything in this manual. And some people prefer to do that. So that's just another option. When you go and buy the curriculum, like I was saying, you can get just the online resources for $85, or you can get this teacher manual for $110. And then you have the option too to add in the morning time bundle, which I'll go through morning time really quick as well once we get there. And it will add an additional cost. It's $25 just for the PDF of this, where you can print additional coloring pages for your students. If you want the manual, it's $39. So you get digital and printed plans. So let me show you the main manual first. The beginning of the manual walks you through what it means to have a Charlotte Mason education. This is not intended to take the place of reading any of Charlotte Mason's volumes. I think Julie would probably be the first to say that, the author Julie Ross. But it does give you a really good overview. So if you're like, how am I supposed to do this? And you want to start small, she gives you a lot of great information in here, and she actually pulls from Charlotte Mason's works to explain it to you. So the manual is really beautiful. This one's very green and earthy, which I love. This is the scripture memory for the first term. And then I'm going to tuck it under here so it's a little bit easier to hold. So each week, you can see down here, it says week 1. It gives you the morning time in here. So you don't have to have the additional morning time plan like book if you don't want to, but it does give it to you here in the main manual. And you can see that in A Gentle Feast, you rotate through some of these feast subjects. So these things that might be considered extra, but are things that you really want to hit in your homeschool. This offers a very gentle way to make sure you're getting to poetry or recitation or fables when you may not be able to find that time every single day. So it allows you to loop through the subjects. She labels everything day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. That way, if you are doing like a 3 or 4 day week of book work, you can organize yourself without having to think about it as Monday, Tuesday, or anything like that. Down at the bottom, she does go through what would be the language arts assignments for the week for you to check off if you did want to use this as your planner. And we did not use the language arts program from A Gentle Feast. My youngest was not ready for it. He was only in kindergarten, so he was really not ready for that kind of work. And my oldest was in 2nd grade, but he reads and writes probably at a 4th grade level at the beginning of this last year. And so he was beyond the language arts packet for A Gentle Feast. I know lots of people really, really enjoy it, and I could have moved him up in form, but Form 2 technically doesn't start until 4th grade. And so I wanted to reserve the material that comes with Form 2 for him later on when he is mature emotionally and that kind of thing. When we flip the page, we start to see the feast. So she lays it out by form and column here, and then subject down here on the left. So this is a really easy way if you have kids in multiple forms for you to be able to see what to do. Now these pages that I'm showing you are actually available in a free trial. So if you do a free 2-week trial, it's actually cycle 1, and it's the first 2 weeks. So you will be able to see all of this in that as well in the digital format. So it tells you what to read for history, and this is a living book curriculum, so you'll see that all of the history is told through living books. Leaf the Lucky is the first book that you start with, and in the digital resources there is a great spreadsheet, I would call it, of the resources that you need to purchase for each form. And then someone went ahead and made another digital sortable list where you can go through and have access to everything that you need for all 4 cycles. You can see geography and literature here, and then science in Form 1 is actually exploring nature with children. So you'll see in the manual here, it does not tell you exactly what to use because it's based on where you are, what season you're in, and what season you start. So exploring nature with children is a separate curriculum that Julie recommends. You certainly don't need to do that for science. You can come up with another activity, but we really do enjoy that curriculum. It's very full and do recommend it. You can see up here too in Form 1 we've got separation from grade 3 and grades 1 and 2. My oldest, my 2nd grader, did read the grade 3 literature items because he was ready for them. I felt okay with that. When we hit this cycle again, he will not be in Form 1. So we won't hit these again for him, so I wanted him to go ahead and read those. When we look on the other side here, we see natural history, citizenship, modern language, and there are resources online for this. So you can access plans and curriculum for language, like Spanish is a great option. on the online resources. Again, with Latin, online resources are available. Math is up to you to choose, and so she just gives a little check box here. I guess it's not a box, it's a circle, a check circle here for you to check off as you go through if you're using this as your actual record-keeping planner. There's always a folk song and a list to do solfa and foreign language songs. So these are listed in the resources online as well. And then there's brush drawing down here. And as you get older, it shows you other options for learning drawing and art. On the back side, we see the tea time options, and then another spot for you to write your wins and then prepping for the next week before you get into week 2. So when we look right here, you see the read aloud options, and then she also gives recommendations as far as what you can be doing during those tea times. For example, day 1, doing handicrafts, day 3, doing chores, cooking, that kind of thing. If you're someone who wants to be told what to do and when, this is a great option. Otherwise, it's just a nice reference to be like, oh, you know what, we haven't done handicrafts this week. Let's add that today to our tea time. And all of these options for reading aloud, again, are in the online resources. I do love that there are multiple options. So if you go through this cycle and you hit it again in 4 years and your kids pretty well remember Alice in Wonderland, you can read Trumpet of the Swan. And if you have new Form 1 or 2 kiddos, the next time around, when you get going through the cycle the 3rd time, you can flip back to that other book and you'll have fresh ears to hear it as well. So that is the main teacher planner. I did want to show you the morning time planner. I hear my kiddos having a conflict. We're going to see if they can resolve it on their own. This is the morning time planner. You do not have to have this to do morning time. Plans are included, but I did want to flip and show you just how it looks a little bit different. So here's that same term 1 Bible memory passage. When you look here, it lays everything out for multiple weeks. So this is really kind of nice if you're wanting to see what's ahead and kind of plan ahead, or maybe even do multiple things in 1 week. If you know, okay, well, we're not going to have time next week to do something, we can add it in this week. And so you can see ahead how far you're going to go. There's the daily Bible reading loop. There's optionals like devotionals for your older students. And then down here it goes through which each beauty option is for the next 6 weeks. So it's nice to have it all laid out once so you can see. There's also the online version of this where you can edit it as well. When you flip in the book, you can see that there is actual music for the hymns that are in the curriculum. Another recommendation is to buy a hymn book, and she has a recommendation in the online resources for that as well. But it is nice to have it right here to look at. And then this is the other part that I loved, is that all the recitations are right here for you. So you can see in term 1, these are the 3 recitations that they will do if you have a Form 1 student. This is term 1, Form 1, what they will recite. I liked to actually copy these because they're so small, and we would put them in our little poetry notebooks, which are just a little 8 by 8.5 by 4 or something notebook. When we flip through, you can see here that there's composer and artist. And then this is the fabulous part. If you do not have a great printer or you don't want to print, look at this. This is why I got it. So when we flip through, let me flip to another one and I'll just show you again. Here's another artist. I did try to print these and they did not turn out awesome on our old printer, and I didn't want to have to pay to have them printed. So it's nice that it's all here together, and that was really helpful for me. So again, this is not like a have to having this manual, but it is really nice to have it to be able to take just out for morning time and keep maybe in your morning time basket, and then you can see what's coming for all of the weeks at once, which is really, really nice. So again, to get this printed option, it's an additional $39 for morning time. If you just want like the pages that you can print for your kids to color, as far as like recitations and the motto, that is only $25 to get the digital PDF to be able to print those items. All right, so this is the gentlefeast.com website. When you are ready to look at the curriculum or purchase the curriculum, you can come here. And if you're ready to purchase, you just go to Buy Now. And this will take you to the options to select your cycle. So you can see here the different options. This is the cycle that we used, cycle 1. And then down here you select if you want to just have the online resources or if you want to have the printed teacher's manual as well. Then when you scroll down, you can select if you'd like that morning time book or nothing at all. There are some morning time plans within your natural Gentle Feast cycle curriculum. But if you want the options to print student pages, that kind of thing, you can even see samples here. That's $25. If you want that manual that's just the morning time information inside of it with all the artist prints and everything, that's this other option for $39. Down here you'll see that there's language arts packets. We did not do a language arts packet for my youngest or my oldest this year, but those options are here, so you can select based on your child's age. And then there's options for digital and printed, or just choosing one or the other, which I think is really helpful as well. So when you have an account, you can go up here and there'll be an option to log in. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to click onto my account. And when I go here to memberships, it will show me everything that I have purchased. So I've purchased the Cycle 1 Morning Time digital plans, and I also have the Cycle 1 digital plans. Obviously, I have the paper copies of these as well, but these are much more detailed. So when I click the Cycle 1, it will take me to this dashboard here where I can choose online resources for Canada, map skills, or online resources for the United States. So I'm in the United States. I'm going to click this option. And then you scroll down, and this is where the meat of the curriculum is. These are all of the things that you need for the year to plan, to access, to use. You can see up here that the morning time plans are available right here. By clicking, it takes you to a spreadsheet that you can make a copy of and edit if you would like. Then there are spreadsheets for each different form. So these are separate files that you could combine into something else if you're a digital planner, or if you want to be able to access everything at once to combine them all together. Down here, you'll also see that there's 2 options for the book list. One is editable and one is just the original book list. There's a parent packet, the introduction information, which is really helpful from Julie. If you want an example of ways to do this curriculum and fit everything in without it being overwhelming in a 4 or 5 day schedule, this is a great thing to click on as well. There's videos about planning. You can access the YouTube playlists and the prints for the artist studies. You can even access what the rotation for Bible will be throughout all 4 years of the cycle. There's lots and lots of things here that you can use. So you can see here, I said that there was foreign language plans online. This is where you access that. There's all kinds of stuff. Scope and sequence to see where you're going and what will be covered. When I click on the Cycle 1 Morning Time, it will take me to the Morning Time resources, and this is where I can access and download those digital packets. You can see right here that there is a Spotify playlist, there's the digital packet, the YouTube playlist, the digital plans, and then student pages. So that's all right here together. Oh, and here's Biographies. This is a new little square that I hadn't seen before. So hopefully this is helpful to kind of see all of that. You really do get a full scope here where you're able to cover lots of things without being overwhelmed, and I highly recommend it. If you have the desire to try the curriculum, you can go right here to 2 weeks free. I'm making gestures with my hand and you cannot see that, but it's right here. It says 2 weeks free. You get to try Cycle 1. And even if you choose a different cycle, it is nice to see how it's set up and practice it. So each cycle moves forward in history. starting with American history for the youngest kiddos. And like I said, that's the main reason why we are moving away for this year. But I do want to return to A Gentle Feast. I really like the way that it's laid out. I think it's really user-friendly without being overwhelming. And if you want to include all of those feast subjects for your students, but you're not exactly sure how to fit it all in, her options for beauty looping and all of that are just wonderful, and they've definitely influenced how we will do this next school year, even though we're not using her curriculum.